what do you think happens in the afterlife? Comment below. And if you haven't done so already, guys, hit that subscribe button because you're going to love our podcast, right? Do you think we meet our creator in the afterlife?
I think no. I think we go on to the next level. I think that we find out what the purpose of this life was or is, and we then go on to the next. And like people say that they when they have near-death experiences, that they saw their life flashing before them. I like to think that when we do go into the next life or the afterlife, we kind of get to look back and view our life, you know, like literally in like a minute, a snippet, even though it's like 70 years worth or 80 years or however many years we had. And we get to kind of see so that there's a message from that life. And then we go on to the next dimension or element or level.
So if you're moving on to the next, sorry, Lucas, go on.
You can sort of ask the question, well, what is the purpose of life? And
maybe we find that out in the afterlife.
Yeah.
I think that the purpose of life is to procreate so that you live forever. It gets passed down to the next generation.
Leave a legacy.
Yeah, the spirit of you
is there forever.
Yeah, and if you don't have children, it's because you're the final destination. Your spirit has lived long enough on earth, and it's time for you to move on to the next. Whereas if you do have children, it's because your spirit is staying. It doesn't want to go just yet.
Wow, I never looked at it like that. Yeah. That's what I love about Elite Thinking Club. Informative and objective thinking.
We got it. All right. So someone else said to me once that when you're thinking about how you got here, someone said to me, Jules, you are a spirit having a human experience. And before you even started, you got to choose where you started. So as a spirit in the next life, like we move on and we're just now lingering spirits, we get to see everything, right? We get to see exactly, there's probably spirits surrounding me right now, whatever you believe, but let's just say there are. If they were to witness me having sex with my partner and they know in that moment they're going to have a baby, that's actually going to create a child, those spirits, it's almost like job interviews. They get to like swipe. They get to see, you know what? I like them too. I will choose that life. I will actually be their child. So your spirit now becomes that baby and you live that life and you all get this choice. You get to choose what life you want to live. So someone was fortunate enough to pick Hugh Hefner. Someone was fortunate enough to pick David Beckham, Princess Diana, or unfortunate, but you don't actually know. The only thing you get to choose are your parents. So you view your parents and then you say, yeah, you know what? I fancy being their child. Boom. Whatever happens, happens. I'm in. And you don't have to like rush. You get loads of, how many people are having sex right now? Do you know what I mean? There's like so many infinite possibilities, but you get to decide who your parents are. And it's from that moment that you come back to earth. You relive another life, a human experience, so to speak. How's that one for you?
Why didn't I pick Bob Marley as my dad? And yeah.
Well, you wouldn't know.
That's really good. I never even thought. I know. Well, there you go. You don't know.
Your parents seemed like the better option than Bob Marley. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's almost like waiting for your train as well. Like this train is going to this destination. I'll take my chance on the next one. This train is going to this destination. I'll take my chance on the next one. Do you know what I mean? So you either do choose or you say, no, something else better will come along. You like that one, don't you? You like that one. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, and share. You've got to share. If you're loving this, you need to share it with others so they can love it too. Spread the love. Trust me, spread the love. Wicked.
So I wonder how long like the stage of afterlife is. So like if you die and then you're in afterlife, do you get to pick then what you are in the next dimension? Or do you just linger about for a little while and then you have two doors? You can choose one door, choose the other. and it's kind of like the whole heaven hell thing, because I don't really believe in heaven or hell, because I think that's links back to religious side of things. So I just believe that there is something else. We don't just, we're not just having this one lot, we're not just here for, and then there's nothing after. There's got to be something after. And because of the whole ghosts, you know, and supernatural and the things that have happened, the paranormal, sorry, and the ghosts after, so clearly our spirits, some still linger around for a reason. There's still something after. Our physical self has died, but the soul and the spirit is still around. I think that ghosts and the paranormal maybe are the ones that want to communicate for a reason. They feel like there's unfinished business, or there's some sort of tortured soul, or, you know, something, they're trying to get a message to people who are still in this life before they can go on to the next part into the afterlife, you know?
Yeah, I think
it's definitely something.
I quite like the Jules's theory on different dimensions and stuff that you mentioned in one of the previous episodes. I think it's on ghosts. Yeah, I quite like the idea of the different dimensions. And obviously, this dimension is huge. Like, I was thinking about it, and you probably can come back in the same dimension you were in. This dimension is huge. I mean, the universe is massive. We're barely even a speck in the universe. I mean, there's so many solar systems in the Milky Way. There's so many Milky Ways in the universe.
Got to be more
to
this.
Yeah, it's expanding the speed of light. And that's one dimension. And we don't even know how many dimensions there are. Yeah. I mean, if you think about the rings and you've got 1 dimension, 2, 3, 4, you can keep going. You can only see into the center from where you are. Yeah. If you haven't checked out the ghost episode, make sure, because we explain the theory there, what Jules does. And I quite like that idea that you can only see through into the dimensions below you. But how do we know how many dimensions there are? You could just keep going. Before you know it, you're in the 30th dimension, and you've got like bloody anti-gravity. You drop things, it starts floating up, and you've got all of this going on. You've got bloody Yoda on his flying chair with his lightsaber out. Honestly, you just don't know.
Oh, I love Chewbacca, so I hope there is something like that out there. I'll be his friend.
I was going to say something, and it's in relation to what we mentioned as religion and gods. So, have you ever owned an ant farm, or have you ever like been fascinated by ants?
As a kid, yeah, I was a bit of a bug lover.
Excellent. Now, I've never owned an ant farm. You know what? I think I wouldn't mind. I think it'd be quite cool, because they're not too fussed about me. They're just going to do what ants do. And obviously, me being the scale I am in comparison to the ant, like, to them, it's just like, they ain't bothered really. If the world had a tsunami, yes, it affects us massively. So if I'd like spill my tea onto some ants, that's a tsunami to them. They're not knowing that I spilt the tea. They're just freaking out at the amount of water. It's like, it's a flipping tsunami, right? And yeah, it makes you think we are ants to someone or something.
Yeah,
you know, because
something
Lucas
bigger
mentioned there about the dimensions. Maybe ants can't fathom that we can see them. And I know everyone will be like, but yeah, but they crawl on our skin. Yeah, but do they see our skin as a surface like we do, and then feel plastic and know it's different, or feel metal and know it's different, or, you know, do they just see it as a surface? And then obviously you can go even deeper into like the real quantum realms of like microbacteria that they exist, you know. And then are ants on the same scale to the microbacteria? So then ants are having the conversation. Do you think microbacteria know that we can see them? Just like we're having the conversation of the ants. And lo and behold, whoever is our scale are probably talking to each other like, do you think those humans can see us? Like, do you think they know I spilt my tea? I'm talking like really slow and like a giant. That's my impression. That's probably terrible. Don't pick me up on that. Let's forget that. Edit that out.
No, keep it in. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I get. The thing is, there must be, mustn't there? There must be something else There has to be.
I want to add one more thing to that. We know we share a planet with like billions of other humans, but in scale size wise, how many ants are there compared to us? There must be trillions. Like, if we're in the billions, there must be trillions of ants, right? And then obviously on another micro scale with the microbacteria, how much microbacteria is there in comparison scale wise? So the larger you get, in theory, the less there is. So is there a all being one God at the final end?
I don't know, but I wouldn't want his job.
It's just,
I don't know. I can't really, I don't know. I just can't. When I was a kid, I did believe in all of the, the gods and the goddesses. And I did kind of like to believe that there was this almighty one that was the creator and the everything, but as an adult, I think that there has to be, we can't just be the only planet with life. There has to be more out there. Like Lucas said, the solar system and the universe, there's so much. And we have funny little creatures on this earth. We have animals, all types of different animals, shapes, sizes, patterns, ants, bugs, koala bears, elephants. Like, it's so
even
out
plants.
there.
Plants are a form of life.
Yeah. Even look at sea creatures.
Yeah.
Like how them, like octopuses, and then you've got these clams, and then you've got these like sea plants that can eat up other little creatures. And it's like, we can't, like, we're a magnificent planet. We are a magnificent like world. We've got to surely, we cannot be the only thing out there, and this cannot be the only, zap, you're born, that's the only chance you get, then you're dead, and that's it. It's too simple, it's too easy just to have that. There's got to be, that's the end of that destination, now you're going up to the next level, go on to platform 2, your train will be here shortly, and then it's like, oh, where am I going now? And you might go on to something else and be on a different planet or on this planet and come back as something, I don't know, obviously I haven't done it yet, but you could, and you might not ever remember this life or any, but there's got to be a reason. And I do believe there's a next level, definitely.
Lucas, what was you going to say there? You were going to say
Sorry.
something.
I was going to say, when you were talking about sea creatures, I think David Attenborough said this, only 70% of our oceans have been discovered because of the pressures at huge water. I mean, the deepest trench is about 4,000 kilometers.
So what you're saying is Godzilla is lurking down there.
Yeah, in the deep sea where light doesn't reach.
Patient.
Where the deep sea, where it's out of the photic zone, light doesn't get there, it's literally pitch black. And we can't get submarines or anything down there because the pressures are so great. You'll have these magnificent creatures that can survive without sunlight. They probably can't see anything, so they probably don't have many eyes. And their shells and their skeletons are going to be rock solid to withstand the pressure from the overlying water. So you can build up some sort of idea of what their genetics is going to be made up of to survive down there. But then that's just the ocean. Imagine what it's like, animals that can survive with low oxygen on another planet without any water.
This is what I mean. It's just exciting.
Evolution trends are just through the roof.
There's a saying, I don't know who said it. It goes, we are either the only living things in the solar system or the universe, or we are not. Either way, they're both equally as scary.
Oh, yeah.
But it'd be nice to see some other forms of life. I just don't think we're capable of, especially like in our current climate where we're, I think, a little bit vulnerable. We're very naive, and ultimately, I'm not talking about everybody, I'm talking about generally, we're very comforted. We're just we're like the ants. We're just getting on with it.
Getting our sugar cubes.
Yeah, working together just to build the colony. I don't think we want to really have anything interrupt that, because if it does, it's kind of like, all right, look, thanks for showing your face, but are you contributing or not? Because if you're not, then, we got a colony to build. But you know what I mean? I'm looking up like I'm talking to something like bigger than I am. These things might be micro. They might be flying.
He thinks he's an ant, Lucas. He thinks he's an ant.
Ant-Man.
He's gone into the afterlife. He's come back as an ant.
Yeah. What's your choice? I think I'm going to be an ant this time.
Could you imagine the first time that our sort of species communicates with like some extraterrestrial life? Could you imagine how embarrassing it's going to be? We're going to send like, I don't know, like Joe Biden or like Kim Jong-un. He's going to go up and, you know, on those films where you have like the escalators that come out of the spaceship and they go down, this alien will sort of walk down and then meet like Joe Biden or whatever. And he'll say something that's like sarcastic or funny, and it'll be really embarrassing and wrong. It'll be quite funny.
Who would you like to represent the human race then, Lucas? If we could choose someone that they're only going to choose one person to say, right, give us your most intelligent person, or someone to represent the human race, who would it be?
I think I would send, I don't know actually.
This is a question for quickfire. So if you haven't already, guys, check out our quickfire episodes. You're going to love those. Trust me.
David Attenborough is quite, clued up on the planet. He could be quite a good one.
I wouldn't send Attenborough, personally. I think this requires quite an element of thinking.
Yeah, I don't think it's something you can just quickly answer. Yeah.
It's not, if you get running for president or running for PM, it's running for global representative, the GR.
Yeah.
Pressure.
Who would your GR be? Who's the GR? Who's the global rep?
It takes them like 4 weeks to count the US votes. Can you imagine how long it's going to take to count the worldwide votes?
Oh my goodness.
We'd have to send someone so unbiased, like someone so unbiased without an agenda as well. Someone who has like a mind for all of everything, like not just
for life.
Race. Yeah, for life. Preservation.
With no gain, no self-gain, just
selfless.
Pure. Yes.
Who would we have? Because I don't think we'd have one. It's in our nature as humans to, when it boils down to survival, you start to prioritize like what's important and what's not. And it's very hard to be selfless when it boils down to survival. It's a difficult one. Who would we have as our GR?
Elon Musk.
If anybody that's listening has any ideas that they think would be a great representation, feel free to let us know. Feel free to comment because you'd be helping us out, because I think this is going to take a while to get this.
If you want to apply as well, CV links in the description.
I was going to say,
for you.
we should actually run like
interviews.
We should do interviews, like who wants to be the GR.
I'm going to do a poll on this. See what answers we get. That might help us out. So if you could really come back,
we've tangented massively, but I love it.
We have.
We're good at this.
If there is an afterlife and we do get reincarnated and we come back, what would you want to come back as? Would you come back again as a human? Even if it's a different if it's female next time or male again, but you had no idea you've already lived in this life, or would you choose to be like an animal?
I know what my answer would be. I'd be like a really rare sort of mythical beast, sort of like a dragon effectively, and I'd just come round and I'd love to fly, like anything that flies.
Oh, maybe you were something that flew in a past life. That's why you want to fly again. What would you be, Jules?
Dinosaur, make people like lose their mind.
Sure. I never really think about it enough, actually. That's a really good question. Come back to me. I'm going to think about it now. But while I think about that, here's one for you. We obviously know that we are on land, but do you think fish know they're in water?
How would they know? It's a surface to them, like land is surface to us. Like we have air all around us, obviously because we breathe oxygen, but we don't necessarily feel like we're walking around in air all of the... Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know if they do know. I don't know if they... I'm going to say no. I don't think they do know.
If we break the atmosphere, it's almost like fish jumping up.
But then that, when you take a fish out of water...
It's suffocating.
It's like they're fighting to get back in.
Yeah, they're suffocating.
So like they're flapping. Yeah,
they can't breathe.
Then they must know. I'm out. I'm out of my
So
world right now.
How we see water is how they see land.
Yeah.
So do they know they're in water? I wouldn't
That's
come
a whole
back
nother
as a
topic, fish.
I wouldn't come back.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be anything in the sea.
If I was to come back, I think I would choose to come back as a woman, as a human woman, because I'm experiencing life as a man for sure. And if I could still remember, then yeah, I guess I'd like to experience it from the opposite sex, because I guess it would just be a new experience, I suppose. Like,
I'd love to be a man for a day. So I'm going to say that I would love to come back as a man.
it's great. Not gonna lie, it's absolutely awesome. Don't get me wrong.
It's great being a female too.
There's a lot of pros and cons. I think, like, you know, if someone was to say to me, which would you rather be, a man or a woman? Because I don't know, like, I haven't been either to compare, but I'm just saying there's a lot of things about being a man that's amazing. Like, it's just great. Like, I think
it'd be nice to know both sides, and then maybe when you leave the second, you know, the life of where you are the second sex, then when you go into that afterlife, they say, which one would you like to go in? Which one would you like to be? Now you've had experienced both. Which one would you like to be on the next level? And you're going to pick the one you preferred.
You know what? It just occurred to me quickly about talking about religions and stuff, like things that resonate with me a lot. So you could get Native American Indians and they believe in thunder and rain god and sun god. And, you know, this is what I'm talking about, like different religions, and the Egyptians believed in different things, and, you know, culture wise. But the one that resonated with me the most is Greek mythology. For some reason, it just spoke to me more than others. So yeah, you had like the Titans to begin with, but then you had Zeus and his fellow gods that overruled the Titans, and then now they are in Mount Olympus and they're doing their thing, and you had different gods for specific things. But I just like the Greek mythology for some reason. Like, it just, and then they also had demigods, you know, and that therefore put us in a position where we could like almost have a sense of belief, like, you know, I'm demigod if you believe it. Do you get what I mean? Does that make sense? Like,
yeah
I just but then also, you know, you get good and bad, but there's not, you know, what is good and bad? Perception.
Another topic, another episode. What is good and
but
bad?
that's the thing, the whole thing with like Zeus and the gods and goddesses, how do we not know that wasn't all real? And, you know, some people don't, like, you know, we've got all these scrolls and scripts and things that were written all these years and years and years and years ago, way before we were here. So it, you know, it makes you wonder that was, you know, the past lives before this life. So yeah, there's got to be more out there.
Yeah, and that's what was said about like the Egyptians. The Egyptians didn't build the pyramids. They just stumbled across the pyramids when they settled as a civilization, and they built it around the pyramid. It didn't mean they didn't build the pyramid. I don't think the Egyptians built the pyramids. I think they stumbled across them, just like we stumbled across the Stonehenge, and they just thought, this is awesome. Let's just design it. Let's interior design it and draw shitloads of our history on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
It does amaze me that those structures for that time to have been built that way.
It's the maths behind it. They are literally pinpoint perfect.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Even with technology these days, I don't think we could build a pyramid that good.
So that tells us there's more out there then?
It's a whole nother episode. We need to start like
we have so many things to talk about.
Absolutely love it. Right, guys, I'm gonna have to call it there. I'm gonna put a cap to that. I think that's been an amazing episode. I feel like we explored so much, and you know, we can do so much with this. So whatever has like sparked your interest right now and you would like to hear a whole episode on it, then comment and let us know. And also, why not join us? If you would like to join us for an episode, let us know. I'm sure that you guys, how do you feel about someone being involved?
We can squeeze someone in. Yeah.
We'll get a guest in. Like, if you want to be in this conversation, like live with us doing an episode, then let us know. We'll be happy to have you on board. So yes, but do us a favor, like, comment, share. Let's start building this thing, and yeah, get us out there. That'll do us a world of favors. So
Click
Lucas,
that subscribe
Liz,
button.
Guys, what a great episode. Love it. Absolutely love it. Right.
It's been good.
It's been great. All right. Everybody everywhere. Elite Thinking Club. Peace and love.
Peace and love.